Hi viewers, 안녕하세요. I'm Marcus, your CELPIP guide for today. I will walk you through some steps to answer the Task 5 speaking question. We have already made the guide for Task 1 to 4, and you can find them in our CELPIP playlist. For this task, the question is divided into two parts, and your job is to persuade someone to agree with your opinion. For the first part, you are shown two pictures where you have to pick one that you prefer. Here's an example of the question. You have 60 seconds to choose, and do not forget to pick your choice, otherwise the computer will pick one automatically for you. For this part, you don't have to speak at all, but I'd encourage you to think and brainstorm some ideas that you can use when you persuade the other person later. Using this example, let's assume that I picked the wireless headphones. Once the 60 seconds are over, you'll be shown another pair of pictures on the next screen. And one of them is the picture that you chose earlier, and the other one is a new picture. At this time, you'll be given 60 seconds of preparation time as well, and then you will be asked to persuade the other person. So that's the setup of the question. And now, it's time to check out our game plan to answer this question. We will start with an introduction, which can include a greeting as it is a conversation. Then, you can acknowledge the other choice that the person made, followed by your choice. Because your task is to persuade someone, of course, you will make some persuasive statements to try to convince the other person. At the end, you can end it with a closing sentence by extending your hope to that person. Before we look deeper into our answer, I just want to encourage you guys to subscribe to our channel and get more useful tips for your test preparation. And a thumb up from you is also a big encouragement to us to continue helping you guys as well. Since you're talking to someone, you can start with a simple greeting like "Hi Jazz" or "Hey Jazz," followed by the topic. When you restate the topic, you can try to paraphrase as you see fit, and you can also do this throughout your response, not in just this particular introduction. Note that there may be times when the conversation is casual, maybe you're talking to friends or a family member, and there may be other times when the situation is more formal, like talking to your colleague or your boss. Adjust your language according to the situation. And here are some examples. This too may be better when the topic is something formal or serious. You can say, "I need to talk to you regarding so-and-so. I have something to discuss with you. It's concerning something." And the next two are likely to be used on something more casual. You could say, "Oh, I wanted to talk to you about something," or "I wanted to chat about something." In the next part, we are acknowledging the person's option. This is actually something that we also do in real life. Experts have said multiple times that effective persuasion involves understanding the other person's situation. So that is what we're going to do here. To accomplish that, you can say things like, "I understand that you prefer blah blah blah. I know that you like something." Then follow up with one positive thing of that particular option based on the description under the picture that you saw. There's no need to say a lot here because you want to convince the person to pick the other option, not the opposite. So that brings us to our next part, stating your choice. Here, you will state your choice, and to do that, I've got some examples for you. So using the question we saw earlier, I could say, "I'm convinced that you'd be better off buying the Bluetooth headphones." And then you will say to the person that you have some reasons why you made that choice by saying something along the lines of, "I have some reasons for that. Let me tell you why I think so." And that's all we're going to do here. It's better to keep it simple. Now, you will start to do some explaining. Remember that your mission is to persuade someone. Under each picture, there are always some details, and you are required to use those comparison points to convince the other person. There may be 3 or 4 comparisons, so you should use at least 2 of them to make your case. In fact, we have used one of them in the beginning, if you remember, when we acknowledged the person's choice. So now you need to pick from the rest. One thing that many students do is they just read the text given to them. After watching this video, I really hope that you won't make the same mistake as those students. So let's take a look at some not so good examples and some better examples. The wireless headset is better because there is no cable. So here, the answer is not explained enough that it won't be considered a good answer. Instead, you can say, the wireless headset is better because there will be no cable that gets tangled and makes you frustrated. Another one. The wired earbuds are better because they're cheaper. So don't just say that they're cheaper, but explain how that is relevant to the person. Instead, you could say, the wired earbuds are better because they're cheaper. You mentioned that you're saving money for school tuition. While giving your reasons, you're encouraged to use transition words, and here are some more examples of transition words you can use, including the ones we just saw in the previous slide. You don't need to memorize all of them. I'm just showing you some examples. Maybe pick 3 or 4 of them that you don't normally use and start practicing them. Make some sentences, write them down, read them, and repeat until you feel comfortable. And because we're going to give 2 benefits, let's use some transition words again. To begin discussing the first benefit, you can use the following phrases, such as, for one thing, first of all, most importantly. And to transition to the second one, you could say, for another thing, secondly, in addition, and so on. At the end of your answer, you can share your wish or hope to that person. In this case, we want to say that you hope you have done enough to change the person's mind. As an example here, you could say, I hope you agree with me that buying the wireless headset is a better option. Ideally, you should be able to squeeze in all that information from your introduction to the closing within a 1-minute window. So, practice as much as you can, time yourself, and use some of our sample questions in our playlist to practice managing your time in the speaking test. Before I let you go, let's take a look at one example using the pictures we saw in the beginning. Hi Jazz, I wanted to talk to you about your headset. Dad told me that you're thinking of upgrading your old one. I understand that you prefer buying the wired earbuds, and it's true that those are cheaper. It's not even half of the price of the wireless headset. However, personally, I would say you'd be better off buying the wireless headset, and let me tell you why I think so. First of all, the wireless headset is better because there will be no cable that gets tangled and makes you frustrated. For another thing, the noise cancellation feature is going to be something that you'd appreciate. You spend a lot of time commuting by bus, so this feature will help you tune out that noise around you, making the music you listen to sounds crisp. I can see that you probably like the red headset too. I know it's your favorite color. Anyway, I hope you change your mind after hearing my opinion. So this is the end of our guide to answer question in task 5. I hope you guys find it useful. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to be the first to know when we post new content to our channel. Thank you and see you next time.